Welcome back, students. Now we are doing one more problem for determination of influence line diagram for 2-point loads. So here the problem states that we have to calculate ILD for reactions, shear force and bending moment at C, and maximum positive and negative shear force. So the given problem is this: there are 2-point loads 100 and 200 kilonewton, that is separated by a distance 6. So and we have to calculate the values for the point C. Now let us start with the reaction RA. So for RA, we know the influence line diagram for RA is as follows. So we have to calculate the ordinate values for 100 kilonewton and 200 kilonewton. I have named the ordinate value as Z1 for 100 and Z2 as for 200 kilonewtons. So once you have done this, so we can calculate the ordinate values for Z1 and Z2 using the similar triangles. For Z1, base divided by height, that is 13 divided by 20, and for Z2 it will be 7 divided by 20. Similarly, then the reaction RA can be calculated as follows, that is load multiplied by the ordinate values, 100 multiplied by Z1 and 200 multiplied by Z2. When we substitute the values, we will be getting the reaction for RA as 135 kilonewton. Now similarly for RB, so this is the influence line diagram for RB. For RB, the maximum ordinate will be at B. Now C is at 7 meter distance away. So here I have not made any changes in the distances, as it is we are calculating for reaction B. Okay. Now Z1 and Z2 using similar triangles you can calculate, and you will be getting it as 0.35 and 0.65. By multiplying with loads, you will be getting the reaction value of RB. You will be getting it as 165. Next we have to calculate maximum shear force, that is the maximum positive shear force and maximum negative shear force at C. Now to get maximum shear forces, that is, let's start with positive shear force. So I have drawn the shear force diagram, that is the influence line diagram for positive maximum shear force. Now to get maximum shear force, the load, that is for positive, I am speaking for positive, the load should be on the CB section. The load should be on the CB section, that is, you can note it down. For positive shear force, the load should be in the CB section. Now once it is in CB section, that means exactly at C I will be having 100 and then I will be having 200 kilonewton. The distance between 100 and 200 kilonewtons will never change. This distance, as in the given problem, it is 6 meters. So we have to rearrange the other terms. Okay. Now in the given, here you will be having, now this is Z1, this is Z2, the ordinate at here it will be +1 since this is positive. Now considering the upper triangular format, you have to calculate for Z1 and Z2. If you do that, we will be getting 13 divided by 20 and 7 divided by 20. So you will be getting maximum positive shear force, load multiplied by, that is 100 kilonewton multiplied by its ordinate and 200 multiplied by its ordinate, you will get it as 135 kilonewton. Next, moving on to maximum negative shear force. Now for maximum negative shear force, the load should be in the AC section. The load should be in the AC section, that is complete load should be in the AC section. No load should be in the CB section. For negative shear force, all load should be in AC section. So I have placed the loads in the AC section and rearranged this distances. So from C to B, here the distance is 13 meters and AC is having 7 meters. In that the 7 meters will be divided here, that is between 100 and 200 kilonewton. This distance is fixed, so we cannot change this distance. So this is fixed, so remaining distance is 1 meter from this triangle. And now since we are calculating for the negative shear force, so we will be having the bottom triangle into picture. This is negative, so we will be having the bottom side of the shear force diagram. So again calculate Z1, Z2. From that you will be getting Z1 as what? 1 meters divided by 20 meters. Then Z2, 7 divided by 20. You will get the ordinate values. Next, the values of the maximum negative shear force is load multiplied by its respective ordinate, that is 100 multiplied by Z1 and 200 multiplied by Z2. At the end we will be getting the answer as minus 75 kilonewtons. Next he has told us to calculate the maximum bending moment at C. Now for maximum bending moment at C, the maximum load, or also you can call it as the heavier load, the heavier load should be placed at that particular point. For us that particular point is nothing but C. So I will be placing the heavier load on C. So this is the influence line diagram for bending moment, and at C I will be placing the heavier load, that is 200 kilonewton, and behind 200 kilonewton I am having 100 kilonewton, and it is separated by a distance of 6 meters. Now for point C, this is A, this is B. For point C, the value of A is 7 meters, the value of B is 13 meters, and the ordinate at C is always maximum. What is the ordinate value of it? AB divided by L. So once you have this, now I have drawn the ordinate for Z2, sorry, for 100 kilonewton as Z2, then this distances, because I have to calculate even Z2. So from A, 100 kilonewton is 1 meter away, and from A 200 kilonewton is 7 meters away, that is at point C, and the other distance is 13 meters. Now let us calculate Z1. Since Z1 will be occupying the maximum ordinate, that is AB divided by L, so it is 7 multiplied by 13 divided by the total length, that is 20. I will be getting the answer as 4.55. Next, to calculate Z2, okay, the bigger triangle and the smaller triangle. So it is what? Ordinate, that is the height divided by base of the bigger triangle, is equals to height divided by base of the smaller triangle. So by similar triangles I have got Z2 as 4.55 divided by 7, and the value is 0.65. Lastly, the equation, that is maximum bending moment at C is equals to load multiplied by the ordinate plus another load multiplied by the ordinate. For 100 kilonewton the ordinate value is 0.65, and for 200 the ordinate value is 4.55. After doing the calculation we will be arriving at the answer of 975 kilonewton meter. So this is how we solve the problems for using the influence line diagram. So in the next class we will meet with some more problems. Till then, thank you.